Hello. You can tell I'm gonna be throwing some shit. I'm gonna fling it. Anyway. What can I say are my biggest critiques of Razorfist? Well, I like the absolute fuck out of Razorfist as a content creator. I absolutely adore the guy. I would shake his hands if he was willing. If we met in person one day and we were willing to shake hands. But my openly calling myself a Rothbardian panarchist, that's probably not going to happen because on his end, because he shit talks us like no fucking tomorrow. Because oh yeah, I appreciate him as an individual, content creator and all that, and as a mind, in the most platonic fashion where no queer shit would happen between us. But just to emphasize, I saw an absolute femoid that I fucking fought with some years back, and a whole community of simps fucking went after my ass for cussing her out while I was having severe bronchial inflation and a chronic cough that lasted for 6 months straight, and my throat's never been the same from that. And in the end of that long fucking rant and cussing video where I sounded like this and I could barely talk, but still did it because I was pissed the fuck off, I threw up in the end. Her nudes got leaked, and that bitch is shit. Her junk sagged to the bed when she was standing on her knees. That made me asexual for 5 minutes, and that was as close to gay as I ever want to get. At all! For emphasis on that little point. So, that being said, these takes of his are just completely fucked. They're wrong. They're objectively wrong. And they're about as full of shit as James Lindsay is when confronted and put to scrutiny by intellectually honest libertarians. I got something to say about that motherfucker soon enough. Example 1. In the video, The Communist Roots of Cancel Culture, excuse me, when he said author Howard Fast, who famously penned the think piece Why the Fifth Amendment, to explain the utility of not incriminating yourself by citing the Constitution, sadly a scree that has been taken up by many a libertarian in the intervening years. Is Razor saying exactly what I've explained to others, friends and associates alike, when I showed this, because people need to understand. He's claiming the moment he was claiming that libertarians are citing the Constitution to cover their asses in the way commies do. This is a blatant lie, and it's a false comparison fallacy on top of a bald-faced lie. The reason many a libertarian would cite the Constitution is to show that they view themselves as a continuation, or the continuation, more accurately, of the frameworks and what the USA Founding Fathers were actually fighting for. And their ideals of what liberty means, of pushing it to the limits. That's what libertarians view themselves as. And they're right to view themselves as, because that's what the fuck they are. Plain and simple. They're more radical because they're more consistent about it. And they're willing to push it to its limits. That's the point. 2. The next take, he claimed, was Rothbard was a moron. Oh, you opinionated little sweet. You little simple opinionated summer child. Are you fucking kidding me? That was you having a bit of a moron moment for saying that. Yeah, there are some things that even I as a Rothbardian would disagree with Rothbard himself on, and would probably hash it out if I talked to him in person. But I believe he died when I was turning 3 years old. Fat chance of that happening. He was still the modernizer of liberty thought and a pioneer of the American liberty movements and all of the offshoots. Okay? 8-1! 3. This final nuke take is the penultimate nuke take is the entire video for my intellectual property. Sorry. I got a thought experiment for you. If you own an idea as a property and somebody knows your idea, are they themselves your property then? Did you say no? Well, you're a fucking hypocrite. Did you say yes? You just went and justified slavery. Then again, I doubt he would be willing to fucking go up against Stefan Kinsella in good faith, because Mr. Kinsella would throttle him. Give him a verbal ass pounding like he wouldn't believe. That's number 4. Here's the next piece. I'm going to show it.
For said incline to be politically effective, it must first be lubricated, and the authoritarian opposition cannot accomplish that because they aren't in a position to. Only entrenched a-holes on our own side can facilitate that particular feat. 100 years of accepting the false premises of our enemies by arguing on their own terms should long have disabused you of that fallacious notion. It wasn't the brilliance of socialist economists or bra-burning feminists that turned universities into struggle session study hall. It was right and libertarian-leaning economists who were so busy arguing the inefficiencies and impracticalities of socialism that they unwittingly and implicitly accepted the underlying unspeakable evil that seizing the property of strangers is morally permissible if it's done in service to some nebulous collectivist social principle. Milton Friedman and Murray Rothbard, whatever their other virtues, did more harm to liberty and property rights by arguing on and thus accepting the flawed moral premises of their enemies than the most frothing, fidel-filating socialismo in all of academia.
You heard right. He had the fucking balls to claim Murray Rothbard adopted the leftist moral premises, which is what the phrase sounds good in theory but bad in practice comes from. You actually should apply that to fucking neocons or Trotskyist, let's be honest. Oh shit, what did I just say? Oh my god. How dare I? Yes, Ben Shapiro, his intellectual origins are in a group of Trotskyists that came over here. You fucking right, I just said it. Eat me! That claim is objectively wrong. Have you ever read The Ethics of Fucking Liberty? Oh wait, you probably haven't. Or For a New Liberty. Have you read that one? No? You might ought to read through both, fucker. Because my God, you fucking need it. These nuke takes come from an opinionated ignoramus's cock holster, if I ever heard him. Have you ever heard of the non-aggression principle? Or John Stuart Mill's half-assing precursor of it, the non-harm principle. Oh, you haven't? That's probably one of the reasons why Rothbard rightfully called John Stuart Mill mushy-headed. Because that bitch had no balls to go all the way with his convictions. Fucking A. Rothbard talked about the fucking non-aggression principle for a reason. The incentives to lie about it, not bringing it up, because Rothbard's moral grounds against socialism applies to all form of statist government structures as a whole. Implicates one. Implicates many. So the Cope, Seethe, and Maul counter tactics are gonna show up. This could easily be interpreted as an expression of one. You could still inject malice and still concede to Occam's and Henlon's razors. As long as you apply it into the least finicky, simplistic, but reasonable positions, folks. That's how they work. I know some retards. Yes, I said that. Fucking retards who would dare to fucking reject those razors and call them copium. Oh, the chip moment there, fuckers. That's a peak oy vey moment. I will give him a bone that he doesn't deserve about Friedman. Milton Friedman here. All I need to say is monetarism. And this is why I say this, because all the good Milton ever did was outweighed by his biggest moment of fucktardery that led to the heterodox version of it that the ROTHSCHILDs, hello! I've trolled on them a couple times already, call MMT. I rest my case. What I am saying is he has a very unfounded hate boner for the Austro-Libertarian movement that he repeatedly shit talks while using citations thereof all the time. Oh, not all the time. Whenever he does some serious big projects like the beautiful piece he did about Abraham fucking Lincoln, the first American fucking tyrant. Mwah, it was gorgeous. A piece, if ever was one, that he ever did, that would be it. If there was just one you had to pick from, that for me, that's just mwah. So anyhow, whether you like it or not, Razorfist, you need us. And by us, I mean the Rothbardians and other Austro-Libertarians. You're gonna need us. You'll come around our way eventually, whether you admit it or not. If you take yourself out of that moment of fucking dissonance, you'll come around to us. And with that, folks, I will see you later. I bid no ill will to the man. But these nuke takes are shit. And they're nuke takes of an unneeded, or should I say, they're the unnecessary, objectively wrong takes of a giant asshole. And he's better than that. Because he's more than capable of being better than that as an individual. I bid you adieu.